Anjana here. Recently, I came across an ebook, New Normal, The Future of B&B Disruptors. We know that hospitality industry is one sector that was hit so bad by the pandemic. So how did the crisis affect B&B, the small vacation rental spaces? That is what the book is about. Today I have Ms. Shinjini Basu, the author of the book, with me. She is the Account Director Corporate Sales at Accor Group in New Delhi. Welcome to Peptalk. Congratulations, Shinjini, on your first book. I understand it is about the impact of pandemic on B&B, the small vacation rental spaces. Tell me, how did the idea come? Is it that you always wanted to author a book and the timing was perfect? There was a lockdown, remote working gave you enough time, so you decided to pursue a dream?
Post-pandemic, things had really reversed in the whole hospitality industry. So, of course, I got into a very work from home module. So that gave me really ample amount of time to kind of do a lot of research work with regards to what's happening in the industry. So things like, what was the strategies that the hospitality industry is currently shaping up in the industry to survive in the current market. So while I was doing my research on these things, I obviously came across the entire small scale rental home spaces. So that's invariably a huge market, to be very frank with you. And consolidators like Booking.com, Airbnb, VRBO, all these are, working with them. And they are a huge scale industry in today's time. So, of course, the pandemic had kind of reject their own strategy itself. So, when I was walking through the entire project, I thought this could be a really good aspect where I can explore of how they can survive or what strategies they can adopt. And when I started researching, I also discussed it with one of my publisher, who is the current publisher of my book, The Industry Global, and they are into a lot of academic journals. So that gave me a huge, they gave me a huge heads up actually into this, that yes, why not go ahead and research. And of course, I had the liberty in the time at this moment. So that really encouraged me. And as you rightly said, I always wanted to write a book. Never thought that this would be the first topic. But yes, this is my first, and I'm here to explore more opportunities into writing in future. So yeah,
that's so lovely to hear. Yeah, actually, small vacation rental space are considered as disruptors of hotel business, right? Exactly.
Yes.
How big is the impact, as we consider this, how big is the impact of pandemic? In your book, you have mentioned that about the cancellation policies some of the companies followed, and it involves full refund for the travelers, and this would have been a big blow to the owners.
Absolutely right. So I have, like you mentioned, I have mentioned about the cancellation policies. So just to give you a feedback, of how the industry was behaving during the pandemic was that we had seen a flurry of cancellations that was going on at that point of time. So this was resulting in $1 billion cancellations, and it was reported by all the consolidators, like I mentioned, whether it's Airbnb or Booking.com, all of them had mentioned that they were running into losses at that period of time. So it was a huge blow to the industry, and the immediate reaction to that was to kind of, rework on the cancellation policies. So all the guests who had booked their stay for the future months and cancelled it, we had to refund the amount to them. So a certain amount of booking amount which was reserved was being refunded. However, a lot of consolidator fees or commissions which the consolidators charge, and that's primarily from the owners of these vacation rental spaces, that was being charged altogether. So that was not affected at all. But eventually, when Airbnb and VRBO and all of them started recording the amount of loss, what they realized is the impact is actually hitting into the owners of the vacation rental spaces, because either they are single owners or they are owners of multiple properties. So they had a lot of mortgage which was involved, and a lot of loans at huge amount of interest. So in order to pay that back, they had to take some money, and what they started doing was delisting their properties eventually from these major sites, and that reduced the presence of Airbnb and VRBO into the market. So I think this was realized eventually in a couple of months' time. And what Airbnb also came up with is something called a solidarity fund, so that they could help these owners survive. And that's what evolved. And what we see rather right now is a lot of them are now coming back, listing themselves into the site, and obviously making ways ahead in the industry. So yes, there has been a lot of domino effect going in and on in the market, but there is also a lot of revival that's now shaping up, I would say.
Yes, there is this revival. This is a time for that. So, what is the new normal? What can we say is the new normal for the B&B sector? Do they have new regulations, and how are the vacation rental owners responding to this?
Sure. So, new normal, as the word was coined long back, but I think this word has become into use in a much more larger way after the pandemic has hit. And a couple of things that really impacts the new normal is firstly, obviously, the safety and hygiene aspect of the travelers who are traveling and staying at the properties. Because at this moment, we are trying to kind of build that kind of confidence into the traveler, that yes, it's absolutely safe to travel, and you are traveling with a partner who's also certified. So what a lot of owners are doing is getting a certification, and these certifications are in terms of courses. So either an Airbnb has a separate kind of course, and booking.com has separate kind of course. So they are kind of training them into how to kind of behave in the new normal, what kind of hygiene protocols should we follow, whether they are verified protocols as per WHO or not. So that's the kind of aspects that we are doing in terms of hygiene and safety. And what we see, other kinds of behavior that have really rapidly changed in this new normal world is obviously the cancellation policy is another thing. So what we were seeing before is the cancellation policies of hotels used to be about a 48-hour cancellation period. But currently, because the clientele who's traveling to these hotels are so very evolved and so very dynamic in nature, so just to ease out the entire process, we are going ahead and giving them a same-day cancellations, which is sometimes 24 hours, sometimes even a 6 p.m. cancellation. So which means the same day the guest can decide whether they want to travel or not travel, depending on how he or she feels at that point of time. The area of health and hygiene is an important concern. Apart from these two major things, obviously the third major thing which I see in terms of how the new normal is shaping is in terms of the marketing aspects. Now, that is something which we see in a lot of vacation rental owners have come up with. Now, of course, when we talk about larger players like Accor and Marriott and all of them, it's much more easier because they are a brand who are already in place, and also they've got a huge backup marketing team and sales team to kind of tell our customers at all points that yes, we are here to assure you your stay will be safe. But when it comes to the vacation rental spaces, it's not very easy because they don't have the bandwidth to perform at that point of time. So what these rental space owners are doing is they are getting themselves trained into a lot of social media influencing, marketing ways, and Indian players, even like, the Make My Trip, Oyo, all these players are also assisting their partners who are listed with them to train themselves so that it will be easier to market and promote them in the current times. So I think that's how the new normal is. It's rapidly growing, it's increasingly developing at the same time, and we are all trying to keep pace with these times at this moment. So,
Yes, that's
yeah.
good. That's good to hear. The pandemic has changed the buying behavior of the customer. So the spending capacity of people is largely affected. So at a time when
Absolutely.
people are traveling for pleasure is less, right? So it's good to know that the marketing strategy have changed. They have undergone a total overhaul. So you told me about the situation of rental homeowners in India too. So uh, what is the future? What is it that we expect now?
Sure. So, like I mentioned, the rental home owners, of course, they have been through a lot of, kind of situation over the couple of almost last 18 months, we've gone through a blow in the entire industry. But the rental space owners have now become more confident thanks to the industry players like Make My Trip, Oyo, all these Booking.com, Airbnb, because they are here to instill that kind of confidence in all of us, to tell us that yes, it's absolutely fine, you can now come up. And what we see is also an uptrend in the market right now in terms of travel. So what I see is, initiatives made by the government, like Ministry of Tourism has also signed up a lot of MOUs with Make My Trip as well as Oyo Homes in order to, hold hands with these small rental space owners so that they can feel more safe and to promote the tourism through their portals. So that's a huge plus from the government of India, I would say. So what also we see is a lot of uptrend in the market in terms of travel shaping up and picking up in the upcoming months. So therefore, I think there is a lot of scope currently in this space, and it's also evolving. And the traveler these days is very, very demanding, because he's aware, and at the same time he is choosy. But if you can keep up to the current times, I see an excellent opportunity being shaping up in the future times. Of course, international travel is banned at this point of time, and we are all waiting that it would be lifted, especially from the US markets, because that's a huge inbound tourism flow from there that we have. But once that is lifted, I think there is no looking back. There is more than ample opportunity for the vacation rental spaces to explore and make money out of the future situations. So, yeah.
Can we say that domestic tourism is picking up now? Because international tourists, we cannot expect much these days, but I believe domestic tourism is picking up these days.
Yeah, so since the international travel embargoes are still in place, of course, domestic tourism is what is picking up at this point of time. Also, I would say, since it's been almost 18 months, people have been working from home, or they are locked down into their houses. Now they want to go ahead and explore. So what you see right now is even weekend destinations from various metro cities are being almost booked over the week. And there is no model of booking only these destinations. Like Goa is seeing a booking right now throughout the month. Now previously it used to be over the weekends, but right now that model has changed, because working remotely largely means working from anywhere. So people are choosing to travel all the way to these leisure destinations like Jaipur, Goa, and stay there and work. So like I said, there is a lot of opportunity for the rental spaces. And in the segment of domestic leisure, yes, currently that's primary as of now. But of course, international tourism, once it kicks in, it's just going to be rising up even more. Yeah, so I think that's the great future for all of us in the industry.
That's great to know. So on that positive note, maybe we may close the session. But I hope to meet you again in this platform with a new book. Any ideas? Any plans of new book?
Absolutely, no plans as of now, but definitely I am going to work on something, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity today for Applique and to you, Anjana, to be present here at this forum, and I look forward to many more sessions like this. Thoroughly enjoyed
Pleasure
this.
is mine.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much, Shinjini. Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
Keep watching Peptalk.
Thank you.